one game away. Blow up. We're playing for something, man. We're playing for something. This gotta mean something to you. It gotta mean something. Everything you got. Everything you got. Let's finish this.
Do it, fellas.
Let's go.
Let's do it, fellas.
Finish 2-3. 1, 2, 3. Finish.
Good morning, guys. I'll get to the point right away. I'm retiring for good. I know the process was a pretty big deal last time, so when I woke up this morning, I figured I'd just press record and let you guys know first. So I won't be long-winded. Like, you only get one super emotional retirement essay, and I used mine up last year. So really thank you guys so much, to every single one of you, for supporting me, my family, my friends, my teammates, my competitors. I could go on forever. There's too many. Thank you guys for allowing me to live my absolute dream. I wouldn't change a thing. Love you all.
You ready to make history? Come on now. Yeah. You know, there's these two words. And when I say them, people get goosebumps because they know what happens next. So without further ado,
free smoke.
Look, scared cause I'm drowning in silence with bad thoughts. These days I don't have nothing to say, man, the bag talks. I put in headphones on my driver, pull up to the spot and give a good dick and Godiva. I can't lie, I'm uninspired. No more pillow talking about nonsense. I only stick around to put some band-aids on my conscience. I don't know why I feel so bad, nigga. That's what we do, no foundation. We don't build no more, we just screw. Half a bottle of Henny, girl, I'm going with the wind. The same niggas say they happy for me, ain't want me to win. So I'm done on my friends, don't need help popping Coronas and reminiscing. I just call up Big Bro J and say it's time for venting. If I live forever, I hold this hate for some centuries. You don't know how much I have you doing what it meant to me, but motherfuck all that. I don't even offer up the time to make the call back. Stupid Lodo, if they don't get the picture now, man, I crop them out of the photo. I can't relate to my peers, been doing this shit for years. I'm motivated by fears. I took the wheel and I steer my sound, not dictated by fuck boys in Atlanta. Stay gifted like this album was ghost written by Santa. Boss forever like they decided to throw me under Slammer. Every song's a hit like they picture me underhanders. I could drop 1,000,000 songs, but they never gon' understand us. Soapbox sermons for niggas never giving chances. Fight our whole lives to get these weak ass advances. Work twice as hard for the shit that they getting handed. And this ain't even nothing we chose, nigga, we branded. Still can't tell why all of these niggas mad at me. I'm trying to get 100 so I can put my team on salary. Give it all to the art, man, I turn my life to a gallery. Man, damn, what a fucked up masterpiece. 1,100 shots and I swear, man, I felt them all. If we ain't even good on our blocks, man, who can we call? Pre-decline state of mind, we broke crabs in the barrel. Got us fighting our folk, man, this shit just a life of peril.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Ladies and gentlemen. Hey, yo, chill out. Welcome back to Kicking It with Saint. Or if it's your first time, welcome to Kicking It with Saint. I am Saint. I'm your host. And we finna do a couple. We finna be kicking it for a little minute. You know, Ben Roethlisberger. First off, how dope was the day? I'm tired. My feet hurt. But after I hop off of this, I am going to work out. So that's just how this thing goes. But I hope everybody had a great day out there. Listen, Ben Roethlisberger said some things. You know, I like to call him Big Rape. You know, he said some things about Lamar Jackson, my quarterback. You want to hear what I have to say. You want to hear my thoughts on what Big Ben had to say. You do. You don't even know that you want to hear it, but you want to hear my thoughts. You want to hear what I have to say about it. And so that's what we're here for. Listen, some people look at what Big Ben said and say, oh, it's true, it's true. I can hear all the white boys out there saying it right now. But listen, before I even address the Big Ben thing, this is what I want to say. And I done said it multiple times. If you are a follower of the channel, if you go back and look at my past videos, you will know how I feel about Baker Mayfield. And I've explained multiple times, one of the biggest reasons that I prayed on his downfall was because before I was even a Lamar Jackson fan, I was watching an interview where he finally got a win over Lamar. And in the interview, for some reason, he decided to address Lamar and say, we knew we could win this game if we made him throw the ball. And that's weird to me that a quarterback would so openly call out another quarterback. If you ever played sports, football, basketball, soccer, any team sport, you know how hard it is to play said sport, especially against high competition and pressure situations and things like that. You know even more how hard it is to play the sport at the position you play. If you're a cornerback, you know how hard it is to play corner. If you're a quarterback, you know how hard it is to be a quarterback. If you play receiver, tight end, defensive lineman, offensive lineman, point guard, shooting guard, 3, the 4, the 5, any position you play, you understand even more so, man, it's tough for us corners out here. So I'm baffled when I hear not only players call out other players, but when players call out their own position group. Now, it's a difference if they don't like each other. And they're not necessarily calling out each other's game, critiquing it. They more so calling each other out because they don't like each other. So they taking shots at each other. I don't care about that. I have no problem with that. It's when you have a quarterback or a position. That's like if Darius Slay came out and and was like, Jair Alexander trash, bro. He be biting on routes and shit like that. Yada, yada, yada. Jair is well within his right to think to himself, why would another cornerback call me out like that? Why would another cornerback go out of his way to critique me for no reason to the public in such a disparaging way? When he played cornerback, he should know how hard it is to play this position. Not only how hard it is to play the position, but to play the position at an elite level on a week-to-week basis. So I'm baffled. Even more so when I hear quarterbacks freely give up critiques of other quarterbacks. Especially when that quarterback is playing or just retired. You never think you hear that. Every time I hear a quarterback talking about, I'm always hearing Peyton Manning praise quarterbacks. Always hearing different type of quarterbacks praising other quarterbacks. For some reason, though, it's so easy to shit on Lamar Jackson. And we're going to get into that, but it baffles me that the hardest job in America, in my opinion, which is the quarterback, other quarterbacks would so freely offer up harsh criticism of men playing and doing the exact job they were tasked to do and be great at. That's weird to me. Now, there's going to be some people out there who say, Saint, Big Ben was right. How can you be mad at what he said? Well, he wasn't right, and you can shut the fuck up, okay? Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Now, let's take a deep dive into Big Ben real quick. Big Rape, which was trending on his last game. Big Ben played with Santonio Holmes, Plexico Burress, Mike Williams, Antonio Brown, Hines Ward. I'm forgetting some dudes. Chase, Thomas, the one who what's that quarterback? Pickett. They got Pickett, Pickens, or I think his name is Pickens actually. Needless to say, Le'Veon Bell. You know, needless to say, Big Ben ain't never been a Pittsburgh Steeler and didn't have an all-pro, a great receiver playing outside of him. It just never happened. So it's very strange to me. And listen, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's not strange to me. Because based off of how Big Ben talked and how he threw teammates under the bus on a regular basis, this is not shocking to me. Why would he care about throwing Lamar Jackson under the bus when he threw his own teammates under the bus? Why would he care about critiquing Lamar Jackson in a harsh fashion to the public when he got on a radio show and threw his teammates under the bus on a regular fashion to the public? Like, why would Big Ben care about that? You know what I'm saying? The man snatching women, allegedly doing things to women in nightclubs and shit. Why would he care about critiquing? You know what I'm saying? But Keep it about football, Saint. My bad. So, it's very strange to me that a guy like Big Ben, who threw a lot of interceptions once that talent wasn't there to back end his career, but nonetheless, one first Super Bowl he won wasn't because of him, but nonetheless, it's very strange to me that somebody who was gifted with such talent around him sees himself as the reason that that talent was what it was. Because everybody talk about how they didn't like playing with Big Ben. You know what I'm saying? I hear so many people talk about how Big Ben was a bad leader and this and that. But it's strange to me, you know, that he views himself in a light where, because clearly it's no way he make this comment if he didn't think that, because I done seen the stats today, how basically Lamar Jackson's stats is better than Big Ben's stats. But it's just strange to me that somebody of Big Ben's caliber could say these type of statements. And obviously you have to think of yourself in a certain light to believe them. But how could somebody like Big Ben think, like, I see quarterbacks who was better than Big Ben give credit to a lot of the players around him. You know what I'm saying? I see Joe Montana always praising the dudes he play with. Big Ben, I never see you praising the dudes you play with as if you was that guy. You was that guy because they praise white quarterbacks who play with a lot of talent around them. They doing it to Joe Burrow right now. Joe Burrow got an all-star cast around him. But all you ever fucking hear about is Joe Burrow. And if you lucky, once a week they might talk about Jamar Chase. And they'll forget one of the other two stud receivers over there as if they are not studs. They talk about Joe Burrow as if he didn't play with talent in college. So I'm very intrigued. No, I'm not. I'm lying. I'm not intrigued by this. Because if you a white quarterback and you got a lot of talent around you, what they gonna do is say you carrying a team, even though you got a lot of motherfuckers around you. It's like they did with Baker. Baker got the Cleveland Browns to the playoffs again. Nick Chubb got the Cleveland Browns to the playoffs again. Stefanski, Garrett. Baker played a part, as big a part as a lot of the other teammates played, not named the people I just named. But then we talk about Lamar Jackson. And for some reason, a dude who done won a unanimous MVP, only two of those exist, Brady and Lamar. He did it without, you couldn't even tell me no receiver on his team not named Antonio Brown. Hollywood Brown. Nope, we do not call him that. Marquise Brown. You couldn't tell me another receiver. And I said receiver, not tight end. And I'm pretty sure you couldn't name none of the other tight ends that was on the team. You couldn't tell me who led the team, who was the second in catching or third in catching, because you're going to guess Mark Andrews. But you couldn't guess none of the other players on that team. You don't know who the running backs were. Wasn't J.K. Dobbins. I'll go ahead and give you that right now. You couldn't guess who his offensive linemen were. You probably couldn't guess really nobody on that fucking team but Lamar Jackson. But somehow, you look at a quarterback, do what Lamar did, and is doing and carrying his team. Because I get so irritated with this narrative that, oh, we ain't afraid of him from the pocket. That's interesting because he done beat a lot of teams from the pocket. And what I find so very interesting is a dude who win as much as Lamar Jackson, they keep trying to undermine his ability. And that's interesting to me because it's so very clear that the Ravens haven't done what they needed to do to help Lamar. But you see it now more so. You see it a lot now. But over the years, the Ravens have never gotten any type of criticism for their lack of spending, lack of putting talent around Lamar Jackson, even though all his counterparts got talent. When Josh Allen struggled before he got Stephon Diggs, y'all act like that don't exist now. He great with Stephon Diggs, and now all of a sudden, those first couple years didn't exist. Lamar has never played with an all-pro receiver. And look at what he is doing every single year. He in the MVP candidacy every year. He got his team in first place either in the division or in the conference every year. Religiously a playoff team. Somehow, you keep telling me all these players is better than him. But the only player who I've seen legitimately give Lamar Jackson-led teams problems because Lamar Jackson at just some point in time in that game was overwhelmed, or whatever it may have been, is Pat Mahomes. Coincidentally, that's the only quarterback in the league who I think is better than Lamar Jackson. Because it's not even that I doubt. I know that if I took the cast of receivers that Big Ben got to play with his career and gave them to Lamar, Lamar would have been to a Super Bowl by now. Now, granted, I would have had to put him on a different team because Baltimore would never spend that much money on receivers. If Big Ben had the cast of receivers that Lamar had, I know he wouldn't have won. How do you know that, Saint? Well, because he didn't get to a Super Bowl again after he got to those first two. And he had a lot of talent on his team after those first two. It's only two quarterbacks who I believe could have done anything with what Lamar Jackson worked with. And that's Tom Brady and Pat Mahomes. Well, what about Joe Burrow? I've never seen Joe Burrow play without talent around him. Actually, I've never seen him be successful without top-tier talent around him. What about Josh Allen? He wasn't successful before he had that top-tier talent around him. Kyler Murray got top-tier talent around him, still not successful. I got to say, my boy, Jalen Hurts wasn't what he is now until he got the talent around him, but I still love Jalen Hurts. That's my guy. I still love Josh Allen, too. I really do hate throwing Josh and Jalen into things to make arguments, but it just is what it is. Lamar Jackson, to me, is the second best quarterback in the NFL, and it's insane to me that people continue to push this false narrative. Like this dude, Jeremy Fowler, continue to get on TV and say the crazy shit, and he be always putting it off as, oh, this is what I'm hearing around the league, bro. You hear a lot of things around the league that you don't get on ESPN and say. You want to say these things, meaning you feel some type of, you have to feel or agree with these things, not feel. You agree with what they saying, or you wouldn't be so happy to report these things every time you report them, bro. Miss me with this nonsense. Y'all ever realize that reporters, these insiders can just lie as much as they want to, and we would never know? Now, granted, I believe everything they be saying be lies until it's proven true. So, you could choose to live like me or choose to live like a fool. However, but some say I'm the fool. But I don't believe nothing they say anyways. Now, granted, when you get into a situation where I don't believe nothing they say, but then I don't be believing shit Aaron Rodgers say either sometimes. This is one of them that was one of them situations where you gotta also play it like I play it. Don't even pay it no attention. Wait till the results are the results, and then you start to talk about it. That's why you don't see me posting a whole bunch of Aaron Rodgers videos over the thing. Bro, I'm not finna worry myself out about what Aaron Rodgers doing, what he gonna do, what the Packers doing, what the Jets doing. Bro, I don't give a damn about none of that. When the results are the results, then I'll talk about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not stressing myself out with that. Clearly, the people who stressing themselves out about it have some type of vested interest in it. Hell, I'm not stressing myself out about the Lamar Jackson situation, and I'm a Ravens fan. But for how long? I've been a Ravens fan my whole life. They let Lamar Jackson walk out of this building. There's nothing they can say to try to blame Lamar Jackson. I have seen what this kid done over the last couple years since he done been on our team. I saw where we were headed to before Lamar came. Raven fans don't want to admit it, bro. We was living on a hope and a prayer. Those same dumbass reports that we see where everybody say, oh, the Ravens such a great organ. That's what we was hoping for. But let's be honest. Ozzie Newsome just retired because the fans was saying he wasn't good enough. The same fans that's trying to say the Ravens do enough for Lamar Jackson is the same fans that was saying they didn't do enough for Joe Flacco, who is nowhere near as good as Lamar Jackson. Oh, but Joe Flacco won a Super Bowl, and he had Anquan Bolden playing out of his mind. Torrey Smith is a phenomenal number 2. Jacoby is a phenomenal number 3. Ray Rice was the top running back in the league at the time before his situation. Joe Flacco did not go out there and do it by himself. I'm no idiot. I'm not finna be like them dumbass analysts who get on TV and be like, oh, he had Ray Lewis. He had Our defense was nowhere near what it was that year. Everybody was getting hurt. They came back during the playoffs. Ray Lewis had a torn triceps. Suggs had a torn ACL. Ed Reed had some type of injury going that year. And the defense we played against was rated higher than us that year. I can't forget my boy Dennis Pitta also. The injuries fucked his career up, but unbelievable run. We did it at home first against Andrew Luck, the chosen one. Then we went and did it against Peyton Manning in Denver. And then we went up to Foxborough and got them big body dubs in New England against the GOAT, Brady. And then we went to New Orleans against Kaepernick and a phenomenal 49ers defense. I'm talking Patrick Willis, Navarro Bowman, absolute studs. Jim Harbaugh, and we got them big body dubs. I remember it. I remember it because I lived through it. I never forget those days, that moment. But to sit here and act like Joe Flacco did that by himself, and that one great year absolves his whole career, and now for some reason Lamar Jackson has underachieved, is insane. And it's only going to happen to Lamar. Because you wouldn't see this. You want to know what underachieving is? When Joe Burrow's contract come up, and it's time to give him his extension, that's underachieving. The weaponry on his team, give it to Pat Mahomes and see if he don't have another Super Bowl by now. Oh, but he got to one, but I thought the goal was to win one. You can even make an argument now that maybe if Jalen Hurts' next contract, because I think he's going to get a contract this year. Justin Herbert, with the talent he done had, what has he accomplished? But I see so many people take shots at Lamar Jackson. People get mad. Oh, well, he don't throw for 4,000 yards, 1,000 yards a year. Who he throwing it to? Y'all bitch when he always throwing it to Mark Andrews, but I never hear you say who was outside to do anything. Y'all never breaking down the film about how these dudes don't get open. But it's always on Lamar. I mean, it's very funny to me what y'all will accept for one quarterback, but what y'all won't accept for some quarterbacks, but will let slide and defend for the others. Because all I heard last year was Herbert has no help. You never hear that argument for Lamar. It's always, oh, Lamar can't throw. I still remember the first game of the season where he was being hyper critiqued by the analysts. And I'm thinking to myself, what broadcaster, that's what I meant. What broadcaster, what commentator is this critical of a quarterback? Every throw Lamar made, he had some type of critique of it. I'm like, bro, did we do this to any other quarterback? Because I watched Josh Allen every game. A better example. I watched Baker Mayfield for the past, 3-4 years until his downfall. Can't remember one game where they was hypercritical of every throw he made. So it's very interesting. Like I said, I knew they were going to do it to Jalen Hurts. But as soon as Jalen Hurts had success, it was he only doing it because of the talent around him. But I never hear that for Joe Burrow. Never hear it for Josh Allen. Never hear it for Herbert. So it's very interesting to me. It's very interesting to me. I call it racist. I call it white biasness in the media. What would you call it? I know what you would call it. Saint, why are you playing the race card? Saint, you're just a racist. Saint, you hate white people. Sure. Now, after you get past all that, why do you think it's like that? Why do you think they judge quarterbacks like Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts the way they do? I'm just interested. Because it's so very clear to me, if you watch the games, I done seen Lamar Jackson outplay every single quarterback I done named. At no point in time did he ever have a talent on his side of the ball that they had on theirs. Hey, but you keep telling me he can't throw. And in the same breath, you tell me that it's about winning. But then when we bring up the fact that Lamar went, oh, but it's the playoffs. But then you tell me it's a team sport when a white quarterback loses in the playoffs that you like. Oh, well, what was he supposed to do? The defense failed him. You say that about Lamar, you're making excuses. It's very, very, what am I looking at? Racist. But hey, what do you say? At the end of the day, my thoughts on what Big Ben said, I could care less about what Big Ben said. I ain't losing no sleep over shit Big Rape saying. I'm pretty sure Lamar Jackson ain't either. You know? Something that bothered me was when Vic said, you know, throw a brace on it. You know what I'm saying? That bothered me. This? Come on, man. This dude allegedly had two sex rape charges against him, man. You think I'm taking it too serious as shit that he talking about? You know what I'm saying? This a dude who throw his teammates under the bus. Because, you know, to be completely honest with you, his rape allegations, that's, you know, put that aside. I'm not going to tell you I don't care about those, but let's just put that to the side. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to keep it on the field. A dude who throw his teammates under the bus every chance he get, I promise you, it's not too many things he can say that I value. Really anything. All right? Because I can't remember the last time I saw Tom throwing teammates under the bus. Lamar, Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, Peyton. I just can't remember it. And for you morons out there, berating a teammate on the sideline is not the same thing as throwing a teammate under the bus. Don't bring up that kicker shit with Peyton Manning either. I specifically said that for the people who was going to try to bring that bullshit up. And plus, you know what? Bring it up. If you the moron who want to go out there and compare Peyton's leadership and Ben's leadership, have at it. I ain't stopping you. Do you boo. With that being said, I appreciate y'all for joining me on another episode of Kicking It with Saint. Tell somebody you fuck with them. Tell somebody you love them. And pay Big Rape no attention. You could be anything you want to be in this world. Choose to be kind to somebody today. Saint out.
They've had every opportunity to make this right. And they won't. And I'm like holding my breath. I'm waiting for the other cleat to drop in Baltimore. Like, are you guys going to do it now?
Hell, I might send him a bouquet.
Seriously.
Because Skip, here's the thing, okay? He comes in, Flacco get hurt, he playing bad anyway. He comes in, he leads them to the playoffs. The next year, he wins the MVP. The next year, he takes them back to the playoffs and wins the playoff game. So what else do you need to see before you give this man his money? So he plays last year, okay? You don't give him his money. And now, you're in the playoff. Well, Lamar, we're in the playoff, bro. Ooh, we good, Lamar. No, we're not good. And we're not going to be good until you break bread. Make the money right.
I got the moves like hot sauce. Lil' mama taking the top off. I'm laying down getting topped off. After this, she know she getting knocked off. I know she loving the money, so I keep on thumbing and thumbing. She say she horny when she taking shots, so I keep them coming and coming. Now I'm putting dick in her tummy. Scoop her up like I'm raking or something. You would think shawty red track, the way that she running and running. You getting dumber and dumber. You out here chasing the bone. After she finished from giving me dome, the Uber is taking her home. Tight.